Is your product too expensive? My video, Why We Don't Have Flying Cars Yet, received a comment that disagreed with my analysis, that flying cars were not safe enough. The commenter claimed the reason we don't have flying cars is because they're too expensive. After several attempts to explain why they're expensive, I realized the commenter didn't understand what too expensive really means. But this analysis is only the first step to finding all the potential innovations. When used with the rest of the predictive innovation method, can help you find technical solutions and new markets in addition to properly pricing your product. There are two types of too expensive, absolute and relative too expensive. Customers use products to satisfy desires. Some desires are valued more than others. If satisfying a desire is not worth the cost, then the product is too expensive. Outcomes are the objective criteria needed to be met to satisfy desires. Outcomes are something you can observe or measure. A product must achieve all the required outcomes to satisfy the desire. If a product does not achieve the currently available criteria for each outcome, then it's too expensive, regardless of price. Failing to meet the criteria is an absolute too expensive. If the desire is not worth the cost, or if the product does not meet the current criteria, that is an absolute too expensive. If another product or method can achieve all the outcomes for less cost, then your product is relatively too expensive. The price you pay to buy, use, and maintain a product are part of the cost, but not the whole cost. Different products satisfy desires to different levels. If a product does not achieve the same levels for all the outcomes, then that too is a cost. A product can cost more in financial terms, i.e. price, as long as it provides more value. Also, the criteria can change based on conditions. The requirements for lunch during your break from work are very different than holiday feast, even though both are meals. Since the original example was flying cars, let's look at the cost of flying cars. In my original video, I showed the outcomes for transportation. This time, I'm going to look at the outcomes for travel. These are very similar, but I think it's easier to see the values if we look at the outcomes for travel. There are 8 required outcomes for travel. First, leave from desired place, leave at desired time, leave with desired objects, leave in the desired condition, arrive at the desired place, arrive at the desired time, arrive with desired objects, and finally, arrive in the desired condition. Notice that none of these imply any type of technology. This is what the customer wants to achieve. Anything that achieves these outcomes to the required criteria will satisfy the customer. The first outcome is leave from where you desire. The ideal outcome is to be able to leave from anywhere you want. Airplanes can only leave from airports. Flying cars improve upon this by allowing you to drive to the airport, but airports are limited in most areas. Vertical takeoff and landing, or VTOL flying cars, currently perform worse on other outcomes than winged flying cars. Next, leave at desired time. Ideally, would allow you to leave at any time with no waiting. Commercial airlines have very limited departures. Private planes allow you to leave at more times, but drastically increase cost. Flying cars are the same as private planes in that regard. They can't fly in all weather, and must be refueled before you take off. You do have the option of driving instead of flying, but a flying car will not be as good on the road in bad weather as a regular car. Leave with desired objects. Ideally, you can take anything you want. The cargo capacity of a flying car is limited by size and weight, plus everything must be inside. A ground-based vehicle allows you to pull a trailer or carry items on the roof. You can't do that with a flying car. Even when used as a ground-based vehicle, a flying car is not going to have the same cargo capacity as a ground-based vehicle. Leave in desired condition means the state of the driver and passengers. Piloting a flying car is more challenging than driving a ground-based car. The pilot must be in better condition than a driver. Because a flying car must take off and land at an airport, you can't easily stop mid-trip. Even something as common and simple as stopping to use the toilet is not possible in a flying car. Flying cars are better than private planes because you do have the option to drive on the ground. But even on the ground, the benefits of a flying car are reduced because of safety issues. Arrive at desired place. Ideally, you can go anywhere. This is one area that flying cars have an advantage, since they can fly over obstacles like water or blocked roads. Unfortunately, there must be some place to land at the destination. Additionally, parking a flying car might be more difficult than a ground-based car. A tiny bit of damage in a parking lot could prevent a flying car from taking off, or require expensive repairs that would not be needed on a ground-based car. This, again, is a safety concern. Arrive at desired time ideally means the instant you leave. Flying cars' main advantage is being able to travel faster than a ground-based car, but this is only true for long trips. Flying cars might be able to avoid traffic, although the gains in the air might be lost when driving between the airport and the end destination. Arrive with the desired object means having everything you want at the destination. If you don't need to bring the object with you in the vehicle, it might be possible to achieve similar outcomes as ground-based cars by keeping duplicate items at the destination or buying the items when you arrive. But, of course, this would increase financial cost. Faster travel time might give flying cars an advantage for transporting perishable or time-sensitive items. The last outcome is arrive in desired condition. Ideally, you would always arrive in as good or better condition than when you left. Bicyclists know about the problem of being sweaty after riding a long ways. Flying cars have the potential of arriving in a better condition than driving because of traveling faster. If a flying car can travel much faster than ground-based cars, it might even be better for emergency trips. Unfortunately, if you did have an accident, it would likely be fatal. Even while driving a flying car, it would not be as safe in an accident as a ground-based car. This again is another safety cost of a flying car. Compared to ground-based cars, flying cars cost more in less value regardless of price. Flying cars only improve on 2 outcomes, but offer less value on 5 outcomes. And 4 of those 5 less satisfied outcomes are directly because of safety. So the thing that makes flying cars too expensive is the cost of less safety. Being able to drive on the road increases the financial cost without increasing the value of speed or matching the safety of driving a normal car. So even if a flying car were the same price as a ground-based car, the lost value is too expensive. Say that again. The price is not the cost of the flying car. It's all of the less satisfied values that makes a flying car too expensive. If we compare flying cars to private planes, we find a potential advantage. Flying cars can leave from and arrive at more locations and potentially could be faster or more flexible on arrival times. This could make a flying car financially worth more than a similar private plane. Is there another market for flying cars? Flying cars are better for 2 outcomes. Plus, there's an extra outcome flying cars satisfy. Arriving at a desired location and a desired time can be restated as speed and access. Flying cars provide an extra value of enjoyment. A customer that highly values one or more of these 3 outcomes may be willing to pay more for a flying car financially and functionally in the other outcomes. By looking at some applications of the extra outcomes, we can find new market opportunities. Speed could be valuable for medical emergencies, although you would want to be able to leave and arrive from any location. Not needing to move the patient between 2 ambulances and a plane could be a significant advantage. Private planes are often used to transport high-value items or people. A flying car could do this better, but you would need to be careful about relative too expensive, because there are other options available to satisfy this outcome. Access is an outcome a flying car could offer a great advantage. Being able to quickly access locations not easily available by a land vehicle, and to have a land vehicle once you're there, could be very valuable. Examples are flying over water, valleys, wilderness, or poor roads. A flying car could also be useful for surveying or sightseeing. And a flying car could be very helpful on large construction projects. Access could also mean limiting access, which could be helpful for security. The passengers and cargo can remain in the vehicle from beginning to end. Finally, enjoyment is an important outcome for a flying car. The fun and prestige of having a flying car is valuable to many people who have money to spend. Sports cars are a good example of fun and prestige being highly valued. Since both of these outcomes are highly subjective, there isn't a direct price comparison. Selling flying cars to wealthy people who want fun or to boost their ego is likely to be very profitable. Outcome analysis provides the foundations for targeting markets, calculating the ideal price, increasing value and profit margins, assessing market risk, and creating business strategies. For more information about the predictive innovation method, visit markprofit.com. MarkProffitt.